Alright, I guess this is it. So, my name is Beverly, and I started this journey for my senior seminar in January, not really knowing where I was going to end up teaching wise. I was hoping that this would help direct me to a deciding factor as to what grade level I really wanted to teach. I went back many times and changed my mind as to if I wanted to do P through 5, if I wanted to just do preschool kindergarten, which is an early childhood degree, middle school, or even secondary. Um, so I decided to branch off during my full work schedule. I work currently at our local Board of Education, and so that gave me lots of opportunities to work with some of our instructional supervisors who allowed me to go into the schools and view or observe those grade levels firsthand. So I went into some of the high schools. I noticed some of those kids are a little bit different than what I'm expected, for the most part. I'm used to working with smaller kids, ages 3 to 5. Um, Found out that they were a little bit more difficult than the 3 to 5 year olds who kind of you already still have the bluff on. They listen to you more. They're a lot more held accountable, which I don't mind to be accountable for their grades and their testing at the end of the year, but it's a lot to have on your plate to be looked at as if you are succeeding as a teacher just by standardized testing. There's so many kids that can't test and don't test well. My 9 year old actually gets test anxiety, which a lot of people, even I, thought was ridiculous. But when she started getting into third grade and they were testing her in multiplication and things like that, I noticed she started freaking out a lot more when going to school because she knew they were going to test her time wise on these multiplication tables every single morning to get them in check and knowing them by the end of the year. So just knowing that even in third grade, that was such a big deal to have on your plate to teach the kids the multiplication tables and to have such strain on them. I went and observed some fourth and fifth grades, like English language arts, math. The English language arts class was probably one of my favorites. I love reading and love grammar, so I felt more at home in there versus a math class, which I viewed in third grade. I viewed my daughter's class, math, which was ridiculous. Like even in third grade, they're doing things that I'd never even thought about in third grade. A lot of fractions, area and perimeter. I think my daughter can multiply much better than I could even do right now, and she can rattle them off like it's nothing, which I'm so thankful for because that's definitely not a subject that I was blessed with being able, I feel like, to teach and teach right to the kids. So that was another deciding factor. I learned, I was like, okay, this math is changing every day. I know I struggle with this subject, so this is not a subject I would even feel comfortable teaching to a child. So that even helped me more. I learned that maybe the smaller kids, which is what I'm used to, is what I like to be in. So I visited a lot of kindergartens, a lot of preschools, and I just felt myself being more involved. Like I would actually sit down and work with the kids more in those classes versus the maybe older elementary students or even middle school and high school. Like I didn't really get involved in the high school when I went to visit them. Um, in the kindergarten, I would sit down and do sight words, and even I could even do math in kindergarten. So that didn't scare me so bad. In preschool, I was reading some of my favorite books to them and acting them out because you really can really get through and point out sight words, and kids learn through observation themselves. I just seemed like I really did like the preschool, kindergarten, maybe even first grade was nice. So just being able to get into those, the senior seminar really helped me decide that P through 5 is what I want to teach. I didn't want to totally um, enclose myself, I guess, to a preschool, kindergarten grade only in case for some reason in a few years kindergarten is just not my thing anymore. The P5, primary through fifth grade, elementary degree would allow me to move even all the way up to fifth had I the see fit. I actually was able to ask a lot of the teachers things like why you got into this career. Was it always your choice? Because I know, like many people, I'm in student loan debt. So I didn't want to choose a career that I was going to ultimately change my mind. But most every single person, they loved it. They are in the grade that they want, or they're just in a grade until one position opens. But they absolutely love it no matter what grade they're in. And teaching has been what they've wanted since the beginning of their education when they started into the career. I had one actual person who started teaching, but teaching wasn't for them. But they did move into a position at my local school board where I'm at currently, and she's into a job where she still works with the children. So she still loves it, but she's just not in a classroom setting. That just wasn't something that it was for her. That she's able to use her education and move it into a career that she did love and seemed to fit well in. And I think she's doing great in that. A lot of the other people that I interviewed were on student loan debt, so they did understand the process of wanting to make sure you're in the career or in the grade level you want to be in before you get $60,000-$70,000 in debt, because then you're just going to be paying your student loan debt back for years. I didn't get into the career for the money at all. I did it because I want to be able to enjoy what I do, and kids is what I enjoy. I have two kids of my own, and I absolutely love them, and I can't stand that they're growing up. So I'm in love with the fact that I can help other little kids at the ages I did with them succeed and know sight words and their colors and their numbers, and just see them grow and see them get happy like my kids got happy when I taught them things. Um, just I'm just so glad that I had this opportunity. This class really opened up many doors for me and allowed me to actually speak to a lot of different people that normally I wouldn't even really spoke to with at my job currently, and work under. So I guess that's it. Just trying to touch all the bases of the whole project that I did and the paper that I wrote. Hopefully this helps anyone else, or hopefully this covered all the bases for this seminar and this little webcast. All right, thanks.